So, having watched a couple of the documentaries about the parents with the daughter that's got epilepsy and how they got arrested by 6 officers. I mean, for goodness sake, I've watched a couple of the documentaries. I started watching another one which was very interesting. Do you know, listening to them, listening to the couple speak, I mean, the father had been a school governor, and they are a very intelligent, mature couple. They're a respectable couple. They sound like they've got a lot of integrity and empathy. They sound like they know exactly what's right for their child, and that they are at the end of their tether with the school system. And to be fair, it sounds like they were set up by the school and there was some entrapment involved, and to deflect the school, to deflect, and obviously politicians, governors, to deflect their faults by just flippantly arresting a couple of really decent parents that had the good nature, the good intent to even set up a WhatsApp group so that other parents, to draw parents together, which is what you're advised to do. NHS professionals years ago told me the best thing you can do is, join parent support groups. You can't always get out to groups, if you've got a child and they need to go to bed, they've got school the next day. This couple's, their mother was 80, and you'd have to take the children to the support groups. And sometimes I went to a support group when we lived in Southsea, and we would go to where there was a climbing centre. But it was very difficult because the parents just wanted to talk about all the problems that their children had, and it wasn't very solutions based. They were kind of quite mainstream, and you need to be in a support group that's kind of based in holism and solutions, where they apply themselves to getting changes done, getting things done. And I think that parents should have WhatsApp groups and discuss things between themselves, and that's a very good way to sort out some problems that the school really is not able to do. And then you kind of get together and you take your package to the school and say, this is what we think, this is what we've decided, and I think that's a very good thing that they did. Now, what is malicious communications? How do you define that? That's what was discussed on the interviews. And really, that's the thing. They had no evidence of malicious communications at all. The school shut them out. And this is the thing, when you get governors, when you get tyranny and apathy, they've got no humanism, no capacity to be human. And they're just terrorists, really. They just use the law, use officers to impose their will as a form of rape, raping, violation of their rights, to be taken out of their homes and placed in a filthy cell that murderers and drunks and drug addicts and dangerous people get taken to. I mean, what's the world coming to? It's absolutely disgusting, and it will probably have an MP behind it, school governors behind it. They're trying to maybe cover up Ofsted results and everything, and this couple was probably just touched upon things that they don't like. And they probably wanted to get their phones and have a look inside them because they wanted to see what they've got on the school, because the school probably have got something to hide, and they wanted to probably know what the parents knew. That's really the long and the short of it. They want to look in your phone to see what you've got on them, on the authorities, on the school. And it's ridiculous, really. And so, telling the truth. Now, malicious communications is swear words, it's threats, it's intimidation, it's threatening behaviour, it's bullying, it's saying things that aren't true, it's defamation, and it's persistent malicious communications where there's no fact in it at all, or very little fact, and it's smoke and mirrors, it's illusions, and it's treachery. I've been on the receiving end of malicious communications before, and it's not very nice. It's very frightening, and it's even where people have got the wrong end of the stick, and you kind of think, well, you know, it's not very nice. But when you're just writing fact, and it's for the good of people, it's to try and get solutions into place, and you're speaking your truth, there's nothing wrong with speaking the truth. There's nothing wrong with saying, this is what's happened. This is what's happened on this date. This happened. This is what's happened. This is who they are. This is how it's affected me. That's a victim statement. This is how it's affected me, you know. And if you've been harassed by people that are derogatory, malicious communications are from people with apathy, megalomania, narcissism, psychopathy. They're derogatory. They're misogynist. When you've got a perfectly good human being with integrity who does genuinely care about their child, and they're, you know, that's got nothing to do with malicious communications.